And this is something that you know and you realize, but maybe you haven't thought about yet. Being a student at Sonora High School is a really big deal, and for more reasons than even myself understands. Do me a favor really fast. Just raise your hand if you had a parent, a grandparent, aunt, uncle, or somebody like that who attended Sonora High School. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. That's a huge number in this room. And this is why it's a big deal. All high schools carry a huge amount of pride for who they are. But there is no school like Sonora High School. And I'm here to tell you that I'm proud to have gone to school here. I'm proud to have known and actually been a part of the lives of the story that you're going to hear today. I'm proud to have known the coaches who are here today, who have been a part of high school, who are part of Sonora High School right now. And I want you just for a moment to understand and to get that that is a huge deal. Today is a small part of your story. It's a really big part of the story of Sonora High School, and you are a part of that. Give yourselves a round of applause if you would. Today, we have some really special guests that went to school here and worked here that I would like to introduce to you in a few moments. And they have some stories that they want to share to you. And they also have, for our school, they have a gift for us. And that is really cool because not every school in this state, in this nation, gets this opportunity. So grab a hold of that. This is one of those moments that I want you to remember. And I'm just going to say this. I don't want this to be a distraction, but it could be kind of cool. This is one of those moments that, yeah, you might want to take a picture of it and say, I was there. You might want to share it with your grandpas and aunts and uncles and family members that went to school and say, I was there. I was a part of this. But what I want more than anything else, I want you, more than anything else, I want you to give your attention, I want you to give your respect, and I want you to pay attention to the next 30 minutes because it's going to be pretty awesome, all right? So to start things, would you please give a round of applause for this quick video. We'll introduce Mr. Josh and Neil Parry. Thank you.
Parry out of the hold of Barton, and the special teams had themselves a night here tonight. Good snap. And a whistle blows. Play the whole field. 1:02 remaining in the ball game. And Parry gets this one on the ground, and it skips to the near side, picked up, and then...
It's certainly for certain when I was a senior.
Kirby again to corner, and corner is met. And Delta G. It hangs in the balance. Wildcats have a touchdown lead. over at what should be the last play of the ball game. We'll throw it out here, and it will be kicked aside by Neil Parry.
I'll tell you, at least the opinion that I was getting from the coaching staff, and of course, I think they're simply good. They seem very confident. But the tackler did a very good job making the tackle. It's like Neil Parry's arms into the field. That catch can be kind of tough. Neil Parry in the game. He's up from the sophomore team. Josh's brother. Joe Martin to hold. We had a fake last week. And Joe can really scoop too. Kicked. And it's good. Neil Parry. Excellent.
San Jose State sophomore Neil Parry suffered a tragic injury on the field. Chances are he will never play football again. Well, Neil has since received a whole lot of support from family and friends, and he's gotten the most support from Josh Parry, his brother, and San Jose State teammates. Leslie Maxie Leonard has the story.
If you close your eyes, it's probably easy to remember some time from your childhood that's very dear to you.
We had a creek that ran behind our house, and me and my brother would go down there pretty much every day.
We could spend the whole day down there, you know, just playing, fishing, throwing rocks.
Between two brothers as close as the Parry boys, those memories surely flow as one.
They've always been very close from the beginning. They'd always bug one another.
The normal torture routine, you know, older brother, younger brother, a lot of that. But you know, a lot of tears, a lot of everything, but a lot of hugs.
Neil would nurture Josh when Josh needed it, and Josh would nurture Neil when he needed it.
At a time when most siblings would be preparing to go their separate ways, Neil followed in his big brother's footsteps to the San Jose State football team. Josh was the defensive captain, and the younger Parry would have to try out for one of the limited walk-on spots.
And I was like, hey man, you know, it's gonna be tough for me. And he was just like, you know, you'll do fine. You'll do fine. And when I finally made it, he was really happy.
If you close your eyes, it's easy to picture an event that changed your life forever.
I saw the person that rolled into me. I saw him just go under me, and I remember hitting the ground and rolling on my back. And I heard it when it broke, and I looked up and I saw my leg, and I knew it was broken.
Joshua was the first player to kneel after he went down.
I didn't know it was him at first until I got about halfway out there and I knew it was him, and I was like, oh.
He looked down at him, saw him, and then turned, grabbed his face mask, and was screaming. I could hear him saying, no, no, no.
I just wanted to just go out there and hug him. It's my baby.
The injury resulted in a compound leg fracture with a major artery and a major nerve severed. 8 surgeries in 5 days followed. And to make matters worse, an infection set in because of the grass on the field. Neil's body could not fight off that infection, so the doctors had no choice but to amputate his foot, ankle, and 8 inches of his right leg.
The first week or so, you know, it felt like I had no emotion. I was just there, you know, it was just me in the bed, and I was like, couldn't feel anything.
Neil may not have felt emotional, but the country certainly did, as evidenced by the hundreds of letters and phone calls he received, and one in particular from the president who wanted to meet with him. At first, Neil thought it was the president of the school.
But then my dad said, no, the president of the United States. I was like, wow, you know, who wouldn't want to meet him?
What a thrill it must have been for Neil to have President Clinton and 4 Marine helicopters land on the practice field at San Jose State University. President Clinton knows well the potential of an amputee. He used to jog 6 miles a day with Senator Bob Kerry. Kerry lost his leg while serving in Vietnam.
I told him I was going to play again, and said he'd come back and watch, because he's going to have some time on his hands.
As Neil was preparing himself for the fight of his life to get back on the gridiron, he was perceptive enough to know that he was not the only one in need of encouragement to get back on the field. Josh was struggling with leaving his little brother and returning to the team.
It weighed on his shoulders a lot, and finally when I told him, hey, you can't do anything else here, you gotta be with the team, go help the team win.
San Jose State beat Nevada the following Saturday, and for his effort, Josh was awarded the game ball. The next week, they would face their toughest opponent yet, then unbeaten TCU. The Spartans upset the number 9 team in the country, with Neil in their hearts and in the stands.
He really wasn't even supposed to be at the game. The doctors didn't want him to go, they wanted him to rest, and he said, I want to be there for my team.
My brother was up there every day, visiting me and trying to be there for me, that's what got me through it. And I'm just glad I could help them get through it.
Neil's road to recovery will not be easy. But while he may have lost part of himself physically in the hospital, he may have found perspective in time spent with the nursing staff.
They made me want to be a nurse, they made me want to do good in school. I haven't really been the best student, and just going through this, if I can play football again, I can get good grades. It's just all about working hard.
We haven't heard the last of Parry, I'll tell you that.
If I can get through this, I can do anything.
Saturday night, Neil Parry joined his brother Josh Parry for the coin toss before the San Jose State-Fresno State game. Neil wore the name Williams on his jersey in honor of his friend Curtis Williams, who was recently paralyzed playing for the Washington Huskies.
Set the screen there, and again, San Jose State doing an excellent job of sniffing it out. Tony Micklin in on the play.
I don't know if I've seen a stadium in anticipation of the defense holding in a long time.
Never has a crowd wanted to see a punt so bad.
And if we see a punt, you will see Neil Parry. You will see this play. Third down and 22. Handoff the most courageous returns to the football field that I think there has ever been, Mike.
No question. With the extent of the injury, with all the hard work to fight back, the infection, everything else, for Neil Parry to make it back on the field, it's amazing.
There he comes. There will be punts in college football all year long. When you see the punt, and here it is. It takes you back, and we'll show you. There it is, number 32. Jamal Shaw gets a boy about to kick that so quick we didn't get a chance to look at Neil, but I'm sure we'll get a replay of that play. It was quick, but it meant so very, very much.
For him to make the journey all the way back. To become a football player, to step on the path and get the live action one more time. Amazing.
Neil Parry.
Lining up with the tackle.
He is
Making the initial block, contact. Getting those full holes. Just fantastic to see back on the football field.
We haven't seen very much. That means a lot. We're hoping to see him again tonight. At least that's what his brother Josh would like to see.
It means the world to his family, it means the world to all the other kids and players up there that check our time. It doesn't get much more difficult than for Neil Parry has to be.
Derek Duncan, one of the weight coaches that has worked with Neil so long.
I've been around a lot of athletes, back and shoulders, knees, and everything else.
Well, there's the young man we were talking about. You'll hear more about him at halftime. Neil Parry of San Jose State on the special teams. Extraordinary young man, great story. And all I want to do is get in and have a chance to make a play. Let's see if it comes his direction. There he is. And there he is on the tackle. Morris Richardson. Running that up deep end. Parry is there to make the tackle. We got a mic, remember. How great is that?
I'm the guy without the mic. Well, I'm not going to use it today. Just go for it, huh? Maybe if I turn the thing on. Yeah, you got the mic going. Hey, it's kind of amazing that a story with all the inspiration that story comes with started right here at Sonora High School. It started in the classrooms and on the fields and with the coaches and the teachers, and I'm sure these guys will tell you that that's exactly where it started. And I will tell you from experience that every uniform these guys have put on has filled with nothing but heart and hard work. And before those guys come up here, I'd like to bring the guy who facilitated and coordinated with the NFL and the school to make this happen. I'd like to bring up Lee McCormick.
Thank you very much. So, who knows what, there was a game that's going to be played this Sunday. Who knows what it's called? Super Bowl, right? Not just the Super Bowl. Super Bowl happens to be the world's premier sporting event. In the world, premier sporting event. This year is the 50th Super Bowl. It's the golden anniversary of the Super Bowl. And the NFL has initiated a special program that's called the Super Bowl High School Honor Roll. And any participant in the past 49 Super Bowls is going to be presenting their high school, Sonora Wildcat High School, a golden football. And the golden football reads, Sonora High School, Sonora, California, Josh Parry, part of Super Bowl history, 39. So your own Sonora Wildcat, Josh Parry. Your own Wildcat, Josh Parry, was the starting fullback for the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 39, where they played the New England Patriots. And they almost won the game. They lost by 3 points. But Josh Parry is an example, along with his brother Neil, a true example of big dreams can come true. And they can begin in places like Sonora, California. And this is a story of determination, brotherhood, and you should be so proud to have somebody like Josh and Neil Parry from your community. And I'd like to give this ball on behalf of the NFL to Josh Parry to present to your high school.
So on behalf of the National Football League, all the players that played before, all the players that are going to play after, present this to Sonora High School. Mrs. Sells, Mr. Howe, Mr. Abernathy, my quarterback. Thank you. They won't even let me hold. I just want to talk a little about what the ball means to me. When I saw the ball when I came in, I thought about the people. My parents, my mom and dad, raising a family now, I know how hard that is. And that's your number one job. I thought about my wife, my best friend, being there for me. I thought about my brother, my sister. thought about my father-in-law, my mother-in-law. And then to see the coaches that came out, coaches that I played for in this community. That's what it's all about. It's not about the game. It's about the people. I thought about my teammates. Some of them are here. I see them in this ball. All the practices. All the time spent together. The other thing I think about is team. Being on a team. There's nothing like being on a team. Because you're not playing for yourself. You're playing for your buddy next to you. And being there for him or her. Good things happen when you give yourself to the team. Individual success comes when you give yourself to the team. I'm an example of that. I played linebacker my whole career. Andy Reid, who's one of my mentors, asked me to play fullback. I'd never played fullback. Carried the ball in high school. Yeah, if that's what the team needs, that's what I'm going to do. And then things fall into place. I'd gotten cut 4 times as a linebacker. Backing up Jeremiah Trotter, all pro. Mike Caldwell, all pro. Trying to make it. Moved to fullback, yeah, let's go. They signed John Ritchie in the offseason. All pro for the Raiders. Horns on his head, blood down his face, the Raiders loved him. The year I moved to fullback, we signed Ritchie on a huge deal. I could have hung him up. I could have said, yeah, that's enough for me. Perseverance. The other thing I see when I look at the ball. Never giving up. You're going to get hit in the chin. In anything you do. It's just going to happen. It's not about what happens to you. It's about how you respond. And if you get up off the mat, and you compete your tail off, you'll always be okay. You'll be successful because you didn't give up. Good things will happen to you if you don't give up, ever. Don't pray for an easy route. Pray for the strength to endure a tough one. Because it means more. You never know who's watching you. Maybe it's a little kid on the side of practice that you don't even notice. What if they're watching you? And you impact them without even knowing. That's what it's all about. That's what it's about. I want to hand it over, let my brother talk a little bit, because what he did has made an impact on me and my family, and the man I am. Maybe he didn't know. Thanks.
First things first, I've been waiting for an opportunity like this my whole life. That was my dad's cell phone that went off. Hold your head out. He would sit in the front row of every game we played, my brother and I, and if we weren't playing well, he would either tell us to pull our head out or he'd yell our number, "Hey, 31, you gonna show up today?" So, pull your head out there. Like my brother was saying, the one thing that if we don't get anything else across today, everybody is going to have some kind of a battle, some kind of an uphill struggle. You don't go through life with nothing happening. I'm sorry. Something's going to happen. It's how you deal with it. You can let it affect you, or you can say, you know what, this isn't going to change who I am. I'm going to make myself get through this moment. This isn't going to define me. I'm going to define this. And that's kind of how my brother and I have gotten to where we are. I mean, we've used each other. We've been there for each other. I wouldn't be where I am without my brother. You know, in high school, I wasn't as highly recruited as Josh. I mean, you could see on the film. He was 31, I was 44. I looked like a kicker, which I was playing. He looked like an all-state player, which he was. He was a state player of the year. But I knew I had ability. And I knew if I'm given the opportunity, I can show what I can do. But it's not just having ability, it's putting in the work. You have to put time in the weight room, in the classroom even, to be eligible to get into college. You have to do the work. It's not going to be given to you. If you don't do that work and the moment comes, you're not going to be ready for it. And that's what my brother and I did. We put in the work. Because when that moment came, we both knew that we'd be ready for it. We weren't going to let that moment come and pass and, oh, well, there it goes. Because it's only going to come once. If you're lucky, twice, but not usually. Put in the work and do what you need to do for that moment. Like I said, everybody's going to have obstacles. And I don't know if many of you know right now, my little brother, Jace, goes here. He's a sophomore. Jace Decker. That's my little man. Most people in his situation wouldn't be where he is. He's a straight A student. I don't think he's ever gotten a B. To be honest, he's going to be more successful than my brother and I can promise you that. But if you look at his background, you wouldn't think so. His dad is not in the picture. A lot of people that have no relationship with their dad don't end up where he is. I'm telling you right now, Jace is going to be better than my brother and I. Already is in basketball. I mean, what are we, 6'3"? He's been waiting for the day he'd say he's taller than my brother and I, so I think he finally can. But he has put in the work because he knows when that moment comes, he needs to be ready for it. And I guarantee you, when scouts come watch him in 2 years, he's going to be ready for it. Things don't just happen. Every once in a while, somebody will win the lottery. But you can't count on that. I mean, that's 1 in a billion. Put in the work, do what you need to do, and you'll be successful. When I don't know if you guys caught the news clip of them when the guy said that I'll never play again. That was told to me a lot because it had never been done. When something hasn't been done, everybody's going to say, that can't be done until somebody does it. Nobody'd ever come back and play football Nobody'd ever played the game in a position. There's been kickers, but never positioned as an amputee. I felt like I had the ability, and if I could run, there wasn't going to be anybody on that field that wanted to make a play more than me. And I worked for it. I was ready for that moment. I knew if they put me on kickoff, I was going to make the tackle. And that almost didn't happen if it wasn't for my brother. Because they asked me to come play in the East-West Shrine game, and I said I'd be around, I'd go through it with the kids and be at the hospital and do all the events, but it was for NFL players. I wasn't going to play in the NFL. I understood that. He talked to me and told me that I'm never going to get another opportunity to make a play. So I took it, they put me on kickoff, and I made the tackle. I put in the time and the work for that moment. That was my comeback. 3 years, 40 surgeries, thinking about that moment. And for San Jose State on that clip, I don't know if you can tell, but running off the field, Coach Abernathy said, "Hey, what were you saying when you were running off the field? If you know me, it was a 4-letter word that starts with an F." Because that is not what I had pictured for 3 years. I pictured running down on kickoff and making a tackle. Because like I said, there isn't anybody, when you put me on kickoff, that was going to stop me because I wanted to make a play more than everybody on the other side. And like I said, I put in, I can't tell, 40-something surgeries. And then actually the UC of Omaha, who is the insurance, they covered the catastrophic insurance for athletes injured. They had told me 2 years prior that I wasn't going to be able to come back and play because if I